Yes.
That's essentially how I feel about life. Full of loneliness and misery and suffering and unhappiness. And it's all over much too quickly. The question is, have I learned anything about life?
Hello and welcome to the Essence of Zen After Dark. I'm joined today with our good co-host, that Mexican with a K, also known as Lewis. Lewis, how are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you, Zane?
I'm doing good, Lewis. I'm just sitting here reading your book, The Guide to World Peace, subtitled, Don't Be a Dick.
Don't be a dick. I remember that. Never got published.
Indeed. Today we have a list of various things we want to get through. Mainly, it's more entertainment centric with movies like Suicide Squad and Ghostbusters and their critiques based of that with Rotten Tomatoes. But first and foremost, we do the tech, the techie tech.
Ba-da-ba-da.
So today on the tech list, have you noticed that the Samsung Note 7 released today or yesterday, or I think today?
Oh, that was today.
It's either today or yesterday, or it's probably gonna release this week, and we've just got news from the, various different review outlets. But I don't know.
I guess that depends on time zone, but that's pretty neat.
It is.
So, Zane, what is a 7 or Galaxy Note S7? It's the Edge. I think it's the Edge, right?
it's the Edge, but for as far as I can see, they're not even calling it the Edge. They're just calling it just Samsung Note 7. It is edged, but there's no alternative
Huh.
form.
So I guess there's no point in calling the Edge. I guess it just dropped that entirely. So Zane, what does this improve over the last iteration?
Pretty much maybe battery life, and it's now going to lead with the new, or the newest version of Android 6.0.1. But
Hmm.
what really bothers me, Lewis, and I'll tell you this as I start to light up a cigarette. No, I don't smoke. I don't smoke. I'm joking. Um, they skipped the Note 6.
Huh?
Yeah, they skipped Note 6. They went
I
from
was taking a
sex.
note from Microsoft.
Yeah. I see what you
Just
did there, by the
kidding.
way. But yeah, they stated that because it was really close to the hardware to that of the Galaxy S7. It's like, why don't they just call it the Galaxy Note 7? You know, just keep them uniformed and unified so there's no confusion, etc. Blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah.
I can see that.
Me too, but like if that's going to be the case, then I mean, I don't know. With naming conventions like that, I would think maybe just don't use numbers, or I don't know, because Lewis, as you know, the average person is weird when it comes to marketing and information.
Yeah, I would say if they're gonna do that, I'd say they take a note from Apple's book in that case and do something like a year. Like I know with Apple products, um, they don't really give it like a version number. They'll say like let's say MacBook Pro early 2015, or late fall 2017, etc., etc. They're just like list when it came out. And I think that's a better gauge than just a random number, at least for the average consumer who doesn't keep up with this kind of stuff.
Exactly. But in terms of the specs, which I think the Note is actually geared to power users anyway, so I don't know, but it sports a 5.7-inch Quad HD Super AMOLED display. I don't know what the super means. Marketing
It's
buzz, I
just
want to
marketing,
say.
marketing buff. It's just better than the regular.
Right. Octa-core CPU, 4 gigs of RAM. The typical internal storage, I believe it starts at 64 gigs. Fingerprint scanner, and the really big deal for the Samsung's new security push, it comes with an iris scanner.
Weird.
It can scan your eyes, Louis.
I wonder how secure that is. Like like the fingerprint scanner. Like, it's kind of iffy still. I mean, it's a step up in like
Mm.
biometric security, but I wonder how good the iris scanner is. I
Well,
mean, it's only as good as the software. But
right.
go ahead.
But they say that it can't be fooled by pictures, nor can it be fooled by like or nor is it stopped by glasses. So apparently it's some really good stuff. But I'm still finicky about it. Anytime you're dealing with phones, especially by corporations like Samsung or Apple, I'm already iffy about having a data file for my fingerprint. Now they're gonna have a data file for your iris, and not to wear tinfoil hats, but I don't want people knowing what my eyes look like. People, they're brown, they're beautiful, they're luscious. Deal with it. That's it. It's like you know about my
Like,
eyes.
I could just hear all the people currently at Blackout right now going boo, no, which is going on actually, by the way.
I can believe. Oh yeah, Black Hat is going. Oh, isn't Edson there?
I don't know if he's right there right now, but I know one of my other buddies is over there right now.
Yeah, I know. Like I know someone who went. That's all. That's all. Like, oh no, I think it was probably Matt.
Matt and Mike are probably there.
Yeah, they're all.
Would not even be surprised. Yeah, they're always there.
We should get them to help us make a candy, and we'll call it the Mike and Matt, and compete with Mike and Matt.
Just to try. The worst you can see is no.
Exactly. But aside from the iris scanner, the phone does still have its fingerprint scanner, and of course, it's moving with the USB-C type, a 3,500 milliamp battery, and of course, it still has that IP68 water resistance, which does mean it is a unibody design, therefore no external battery placements or storage increase crap, blah blah blah. So yeah.
So basically, that's water resistance, right? Not waterproof. Like I can't go swimming with this thing at the lake, right?
Oh, yeah, no, you can up to
I can.
It should be. You should. Because
I'm just not familiar with the IP68 water resistance standards that are out there.
I believe the 68 stands for is like you can go I believe to like 10 feet or was it 15 feet of water.
Not bad.
Yeah, because their Samsung Galaxy S7, which I do believe is also IP68, can go up to about 15 feet underwater. And if you guys know Linus Tech Tips, they did an awesome video where they took a vacation or quote unquote vacation trip to, I believe, Mexico. And they went swimming, and Linus actually did a bunch of waterproof / water resistance tests with various phones. And the Samsung Galaxy S7 came out on top with about 20 feet of water before it crapped out, I think, or something like that. So yeah. But next on the list, or go ahead.
I was gonna say that's better than I thought. Go ahead.
Yeah. Next on the list is the Xiaomi Redmi Pro, which I'm always finicky when it comes to Chinese or Asian-based cell phones. Not that I have anything against Asians. I have things against China and their terms of direction with their government.
Good old China.
But no, like the phone looks fantastic. Oops. Windows. I don't need you to tell me what track is playing next. Thank you. Thank you.
So you got 13 back, I'm guessing, and 5 front. Usually front's less.
Yeah. It's actually I lost my notes. No, it's I don't know the actual front-facing camera. The 5 megapixels is actually it's a dual rear camera setup. So it has 2 cameras on the back. One is 13 megapixels. The other one is 5 megapixels.
Oh, so I'm mistaken. The 5 megapixels are on the back. It's about 2 of them.
It has like.
So how did that help?
I think it's like with the range and depth perception and possibly like distance recognition and probably some of the let's call it HDR, I believe it's called.
Yeah, the high. Yeah, I don't even know what it stands for. High dynamic range.
High dynamic Rick and Morty season 3 this month. I don't know. No,
That's about right.
Didn't Rick and Morty come out last month?
Did it?
I think I missed the first episode. Anywho, I'm getting off topic. But yeah, it's actually a really sexy device. It launches with a custom ROM that's based off of Android 6.0.1. Very similar to the Note 7, mind you. It's 5.5 inches in terms of display. It's an OLED display. 4050 milliamp battery, 4 gigs of RAM. Has expandable storage and is USB-C. Dual SIM, and it comes with a fingerprint scanner as well. But guess what's the biggest benefit of this phone, Lewis?
It's not Samsung.
That's one. That is one. That's one. Not to rack on Samsung. I like Samsung, but they've changed. They've changed.
They have changed. They've changed.
Yeah. But no, it's that the Xiaomi Redmi Pro is supposedly going to go on sale in the United States for $225 freaking dollars.
Maybe. No way. 225.
For the entry model. For the entry model. If you want to upgrade, I believe, the storage. I'm not sure if there's an 8 gigabytes of RAM version, because I don't think it really needs 8 gigs of RAM. But the next version is like $255. So it's still under $300, supposedly. So yeah, a lot of people do.
That's not bad.
Exactly. But a lot of people like to criticize the CPU processor that they're going to go with, which is the Helio X25 Deca-core. 10 cores, man. 10 freaking cores. They're getting crazy with this stuff.
Exactly.
But yeah, the Helio's not that bad. It's I believe Sony's phone, one of their Xperia phones used the Helio processor. And again, it's not as fast as the Snapdragon, sure. But unless you're going to be gaming on your cell phone, which I am not a big proprietor of like super 3D games on cell phones, but that's just me. So as long as you're not doing that, it should be totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, I see like how they could turn off a good amount of people.
Yeah. Don't even
especially with Pokemon Go out now.
If people game on your if you game on your cell phones, more power to you. Just not me. I mean, I game, but I do like those casual. I'm a casual player. I'm a casual. I'm a dirty casual.
Casual.
in terms
Ultra
of cell
casual.
phones. But no, I don't play heavy 3D games that has like 1,000 pixels and particle effects that go spladoosh, spladoosh, spladoosh. It's just nah. But yeah, that's the tech
It's not
for
bad.
today. Yeah.
And it's got dual SIM, so I mean, something else going for it.
I, is it just me like so in the business world of today, a lot of businesses are going for cell phones that have dual SIM so they can do dual networks, one for home and one for
Right.
business. But like, wouldn't it just be better to have your personal phone and a business phone?
You could also argue that. I mean, at least that way, you could turn off one phone, and have business calls like not bother you, like while you're having dinner.
Right. Or I won't accidentally send a dick pic to my boss when I'm trying to do it to my wife. You know, you know. These are the real questions you need to ask about dual SIMs, dick pics,
But on the other hand, you don't have to worry about charging one phone instead of two,
or losing the other phone.
or losing the other phone.
Very true. Very true. But moving on, however, to the next topic, which is gaming. Starbound reached version 1.0, which means it's now out of early access.
Woo.
I'm not sure if you've ever seen Starbound. Have you?
I've seen it on the Steam store, but
Yeah.
I've kind of just ignored it. What kind of game is it again?
Have you ever seen or played Terraria or Terraria? How you pronounce it?
Yes.
It's just like
Side-scrolling
that.
Minecraft.
Yes, side-scrolling Minecraft. Except it's just like Terraria, but includes space travel.
Huh.
Yeah, so you got your ship. You travel to planet to moons, asteroid belts. Some planets are radioactive. Some you need to have like a breathing apparatus. It's pretty cool. It's really freaking cool.
So, what made them actually make it 1.0?
They just
What?
got tired of being in early access, and a lot of people were complaining at them, so they decided to cut a bunch of planned features for the moment, really narrow in and focus their target, get that done, and they pushed out for 1.0 last week. And it's been successful thus far, and they're going to eventually start rolling out those future updates that they have planned features in the future. So good on them.
Interesting. How much is it?
Windows key, Steam, enter,
Quick Google search.
load up Steam, quick load. I believe it's like $15 to be honest with you though. I just want to
something
make
like that.
sure. Yeah, it's not. Again, it's 2D side scroller. Personally, I think that it has enough content to wager like $30 to $45, maybe even $60 if all the features were finished. But I'm not gonna play devil's advocate in terms of pricing and games because that's like a touchy area with a lot of gamers.
No, let's piss off the gamers. Maybe they'll watch it more.
It is $15 on Steam, and I believe it's also on GOG, which is Good Old Games. I'm not 100% sure though. Don't quote me on it.
Sweet. I'll have to look into it.
I highly recommend you just check it out. If it's something that you'd be interested in, play it. I'm playing it. I'm online. Guys, feel free. Just don't be a dick. World peace.
Hello, Sandoval.
Moving on though, do you know who Telltale Games are?
Oh man, I've heard that before.
The
Keep
Walking
going, keep
Dead
going.
games and everything.
There we go.
Yeah. They also did Borderlands, Telltale's version, and all was pretty much big successful. But they recently came out with their Telltale's Batman series. It looks good.
Now, which Batman is this? Which universe Batman?
The Telltale's universe Batman.
Oh.
Bruce Wayne,
Oh. Bruce Wayne.
yeah. Come here.
Wait, is there a universe with no Bruce Wayne?
Well, Bruce Wayne. Actually, so there's other universes in the DC universe where Bruce Wayne, as a child, dies instead of his parents. he is shot instead. So his dad becomes Batman, and he's Thomas Wayne's Batman, who is a really fucked up and mean Batman. And Martha, his mother, Bruce's mother, becomes the Joker because when Bruce is dying, she nuts up because she lost her son. So there's that. And
okay, so not that Batman.
No, not that Batman. And there's also a future Batman where Bruce is old, retires, and he gets a young Terry McGinnis, which everyone knows as the Batman Beyond universe, or timeline, rather. So.
I learned something new today about Batman. Thanks, Zane. Oh, man. Anyway, back to the game.
You learned something new. No, the game is really nice. It looks visually like a Telltale's game. It focuses more on Bruce Wayne than Batman. However, because it's Telltale's, they have a reputation for launching their games a tad bit broken.
So I can't open the game broken, like the loading screen doesn't load broken.
More like the loading screen takes a while to load. The game is laggy in certain areas. Certain key inputs doesn't always register correctly. Stuff like that.
Its actual gameplay itself is hindered.
Right.
Not fun. So I'm guessing the initial release wasn't perceived with much love.
Right. Which is why, it's kind of common today with video games, day one patches or, don't buy games on a release. Although I say this and I push this, I'm still going to buy No Man's Sky when it first comes out because I'm just an idiot for No Man's Sky. Which, by the way, is coming out, I believe, this week. But someone has already got an early copy of the game. They bought it for over $1,500. Right? If you're balling,
if you think the game's worth $1,500,
no game was worth $1,500.
Well, apparently it wasn't someone.
Well, to be fair, again, when it comes to gaming and prices, a lot of gamers don't understand about the economy and especially the gaming market of how games, which are generally at max $60, not including season passes or DLC packs or etc. They should actually be more than $60 because expansion and inflation of the gaming market went against the grain, and it basically created a ceiling cap. And I'm not gonna go sit here and do macroeconomics 101 with everybody, but pretty much a price ceiling hinders the particular market and will cause inflation to the point of a future collapse, which is why everyone, if Boogie2988 keeps saying the future is going to have a gaming market crash. It's only a matter of time. So yeah.
Fixed prices. I'm assuming GameStop has something to do with that.
Those bastards do. GameStop, we're coming for you. We're gonna buy you out.
It's ridiculous. The game came out a year ago and it's $50. Really?
But then if you try to sell it, we'll buy it for 50 cents. You sons of mother of...
The moment you walk back out that door, you just sold it for $50 again. Good old GameStop.
But yeah. Anyway, though, the guy did buy the game early from somebody. So I'm guessing someone from the team or whatever. Spoiled some stuff, not too much stuff. I haven't been reading it because I don't want to spoil it. When I buy it, I will be streaming it over at twitch.tv/Essence of Zen, your place for all things Essence of Zen streaming of gaming. Thank you very much.
Please watch.
But yeah, so there's that. But moving on to another topic, one that kind of hits my heart. Suicide Squad, man. Oh,
Suicide Squad.
I'm gonna see it tomorrow. It looks amazing. Our boy Scott. You know who Scott is, right?
Scott. Scott, the person Scott, the actor Scott.
The person Scott from UAT, Red Goblin, Little Red Goblin Gang Scott. Fencing. He's. I was gonna say he was. He's Jewish. Don't worry about it. well, my friend Scott from UAT is big on like D&D. Well, I'm messing up my sentence list. He's big on Dungeons and Dragons, comic books, and things such as that nature. And he's a big comic buff like myself. He went and saw Suicide Squad yesterday. He got to see it 2 days early. He loved it. He said it wasn't a perfect movie, but it was a good movie. Average at best, right? Now, over on Rotten Tomatoes, the major...
Oh man, here we go.
You already know. The major critic circuits are giving it, like, not so good reviews. It's sitting at a tomato meter of 31% right now. And people are mad. People are mad.
Oh man, Rotten Tomatoes. Tomatoes. What is the actual popular, or what is it? Viewer, like a non-movie critic.
Well, we can't see the non-movie critic.
Oh right.
Yeah,
that hasn't come out yet.
But excuse me, burp. It is at a 98% want to see mark. And from what I've been reading online, like Reddit and other places where you have non-big critics who saw the movie, at the most, people are saying it's around like an 8. At least it's around like a 6.5-ish type of thing. So they're saying it's a good movie. They say it's far more fun than BBS. You know me, I love me some BBS, and I love me some BBS Ultimate Edition. But I don't know, like seeing these scores and reading the reviews from these major critics, I don't want to say that bias pulls people into like the wrong way, but I can't think otherwise. I'm seeing a clear, horrendous bias, like horrible.
Rotten Tomatoes, they're just always super harsh. I tend to just look at it for like a ballpark figure. In the end, I always go with the actual viewer reviews on Rotten Tomatoes because I'm honestly not going to be that picky.
Right.
So basically, it's not going to be like a Titanic, but it'll be like it'll still be a decent movie.
I can agree with that. Like just seeing these, like, it makes me want to have like whatever type of license you need to have early, just to combat like the idiocy. Because, I mean, objective
ZenOokami,
critiques,
Inside Man.
Objective critiques are always welcomed. I understand that not everyone is going to have my same passion or my same opinion or my same bias towards something. Mm-hmm. But like, oh my goodness, some people are like just going in and just being dicks. And then they turn around and I don't want to do the comparison. Everyone compares the DCEU to the MCU, and I'm just like, I'm sorry. Guardians of the Galaxy was a fantastic, fun movie. But it is nowhere near a masterpiece to the point where no one wants to talk about the ending where they dance to save the day. Like, what is that, Lewis? He danced.
That's Hollywood.
He danced, Lewis. He sat there and did the old original Running Man, not the new Running Man, but the original Running Man. And the bad guy stops and goes, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Ooh, child, things are gonna..." Like, no, I'm sorry. Lewis, it hurts my soul.
Yeah. You're right.
It hurts my soul, Lewis.
I smell bias. I smell paid reviews.
Oh. And again, that doesn't mean that the movie doesn't have its mistakes. I'm pretty sure when I go see it, I'm gonna be able to point things out left and right about it. And then I'm gonna try to sit here and do like massive breakdowns and end up spending 4 to 5 weeks on various videos. I'm still doing the BBS videos. I haven't forgot about it. The Batman one is coming next. But yeah,
I guess I'll just have to wait till next week to hear your review of Suicide Squad.
I still gotta do Zootopia, Life of Pets, Ghostbusters, Lights Out. But yeah, which also, and Ghostbusters, which is the other movie I want to talk about, which I'm very happy about, because it's sitting at a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes. I believe a 75% is around where I would put it at, a C+, B-, really.
So they're pretty accurate, somewhat.
Yeah, but then I look at the audience score and only 58% liked it. I'm just like,
oh, how
can critics like? It's so weird, Lewis. It's so weird.
It's weird. That's inverted.
I don't know.
I mean, I heard mixed things about it. I heard some people say that like, don't waste your money. Some people said it's a good play on the classic.
I mean, I would say I highly recommend it. It's at the least an above average movie, and it is best depending on where you stand with this series, your bias, your passion, and your love for the Ghostbusters genre or the franchise. At most, I put it at like an 8 out of 10 stars, or like a maybe even a 9 if you're so passionate like that. But no, like it's funny. I love the characters. I love the cameos. I love the jokes. I even love their clear message to like the whole stop making women seem like bimbos in movies things. What they did with the himbo for Thor's little brother. Because
Yeah.
the male guy, that I forget his name, is something Hemsworth, but he's the other Hemsworth little brother.
Ah,
Matter of
no,
fact,
I'd have to look it up. Can't
yeah.
remember.
Hold on. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth, which is who's his brother then? I don't know. Anyway, because Chris Hemsworth's character Kevin is basically a himbo, a dumb idiot man who is there for eye candy, and they purposely push that strongly to the point of it being a clear parody. So when people say, "Oh, you know, you shouldn't do this if you want women to be taken seriously," like, no, they didn't do it like how oftentimes women in movies are portrayed, but they did it as a parody to that, making fun of it, and even then giving him cool parts of the movie that makes him more than just that himbo. But I'm not gonna get into arguments of like politics or political correctness. But I recommend it. It's definitely a must watch for from me. At least you should be entertained by it. You may not love it, but you would definitely like it, in my opinion.
Would someone still enjoy it if they haven't seen the original?
Most definitely. A matter of fact, I think a lot of people who are like, "Oh, I love the original so much, you should make this remake." Screw those guys for a moment. For new people, younger audiences, especially young girls. I don't want to like again make it so political in terms of the stances of different individuals, but because it makes you kind of biased to the way of perceiving the video, because this movie has done so much for little girls around the world. So take that aside as well. For people who are just going into a franchise fresh and new with no information about the original, it's still a great movie. I think it's going to pull them in for a bright future for the franchise. But for those who do know the original, there's about 3 or 4 scenes that are basically doing cameos of the original cast, and they're hilarious. Like, my goodness, the guy who played in Spaceballs as the Vader of that version, he is hilarious. Highly recommend it. Oh. Lewis, you got me ranting.
Neat. I'll have to add it to my movies to watch. And Suicide Squad, yeah, I'll definitely watch that in theaters sometime soon.
Dude, I already
I
got
want
my
to hear your
tickets for
review
it.
first, though. But
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna take a quick 2 to 5 minute break. I'm gonna go ahead and play some ads, some custom ads, mind you. So sit tight. Like me, you enjoy losing a bunch of time searching Amazon for various gadgets and gizmos and trinkets and bobs and bits. Well, wouldn't you enjoy an extra $5 towards your Amazon account? Or if you have a mobile phone, either Android or iPhone, you can use our link to log into the Amazon app for the first time and get an extra $5. If you want to support Essence of Zen, I highly recommend you do this. It doesn't hurt. All you have to do is click the link and follow the 2 instructions. If you are eligible for the extra $5, it will be added to your Amazon credits. So give it a shot. You're helping us out, and you're also getting an extra $5 in your pockets. In the meantime, feel free to support Essence of Zen by using our link to start a 30-day trial for Kindle Unlimited. That's free access to over 10,000 books and audiobooks for 30 days. Unlimited reading, unlimited listening, any device. When nearing the end of the trial, if you don't want to continue it, be sure to cancel the service renewal via amazon.com/mycd. Thank you. In the meantime,
What I do, what I do, da da do, da da do. What I do, what I do.
Alrighty, and we are back. We are back. Lewis, how'd you enjoy your 5-minute vacation?
It was blissful.
That's nice to hear.
Peaceful, even.
I spent my 5-minute vacation exploring different realities and hallmarks with Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty.
Good old Rick Sanchez. So, we mentioned that like season 3 is just around the corner right there.
If it has not already started, I'm pretty sure they said July 28th or something like that, and it's already August, or maybe it was late. I cannot remember. However, there is a slight animatic. I think that's what they call them. It's basically like the sketching type of animation where it's really choppy frames and it's not color and it's just sketches of one of the episodes where Rick is like a Twinkie.
Oh yeah, I think I did see that one.
Yeah, where he's using some
Sent it to
type of like necklace thing and like weird arms and that of a cockroach body that he slices off like a rat's head. It's really weird, and I cannot wait for the damn actual episode.
Oh man.
But you just finished up watching Gravity Falls, right?
Yes. Like I finished watching it like about a week or two ago. Yeah. I'm a little late on that, but it's a good show. I remember I watched all of season 1. You know, it's up to date. But then I think I lost my cable subscription, and then like I just completely forgot what happened. Ended up being able to watch those episodes online, but I had to start from the beginning again because I had forgotten everything that happened. Nonetheless, the struggle was worth it, because I still think it's a great show. Just so full of mystery, and like for a kids show, it's a lot more, I think. There's some references in there. I'm like,
dude,
if I was a kid.
the lumberjack ghost.
Lumberjack.
He came out the fireplace as like a flaming skull of bleeding from his eye sockets.
Yep, I was like, I just
Disney?
looked at Tatiana and I said, remember, this is a kid's show.
All right, I have one serious question for you though, Lewis.
All right.
It's the most important question when it comes to Gravity Falls.
All right.
Do you, Lewis?
Do I?
Do you ship Dipper and Wendy, or Dipper and Pacifica?
Pick Dipper and Wendy or Dipper and Pacifica. As what?
It's the ship, the relationship thing.
Oh, the ship.
Yes. What's your OTP?
I would go Dipper and Wendy.
You bastard! No, that's cool though.
You go Dipper and Pacifica.
Yeah, I'm Dipsifica all the way.
Dipsifica? Why is that?
I don't know, like
specific reason.
No, it's I personally I felt that their interaction had far more depth to it, whereas with Wendy and Dipper, it was just I'm a 12-year-old kid. I don't know how old Dipper actually. I think he's 12 or 13 or something like that.
12. Yeah, he's 12.
Who was lusting creepily after someone of a much, or not much, but like 5 years older than him. Like she's like 18, I think, or something.
No, I think she was like 14 or 15. So like 2 or 3.
I know she was in high school.
I mean, yeah, she was in high school. So at least 2 years, right?
No, I think high school starts at like 16. So yes, or about 2 or 3. I would assume at the least.
Huh.
But yeah, but still, he was kind of creepy about it, and that has its own comedic goal, in terms of writing. But now, like when the whole thing about the saving Dipsifica from the lumberjack mansion, I don't know, it felt more on equal grounds, and the way they played off each other was very nice. And again, it's a kid show. There was actually no end result for the relationship type of thing, which is fine by me. It's just a joke in terms of the fandom flipping out about what's your OTP. So it was just a fun little
Yeah.
question. But yeah. So you haven't seen Gravity Falls out there? Go watch it. It is a fantastic show. Highly recommend Gravity Falls, regular show, and Steven Universe. Oh, and Star versus the Forces of Evil. I love that show so freaking much.
Yeah, I would say it's not too late to watch Gravity Falls. It's pretty good. I think I might rewatch it sometime in the future because I feel like there's still some things that I missed
Like,
that I would like have to.
yeah, like dude, like
Yeah.
we're kind of spending a little bit more time than I would like to on this, but it's okay because I love this show. Did you know that you could find like hints to the spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, you know, too freaking bad, of the twin uncle or grunkle?
Yes. I was watched this interview with the actual creator, and he was like basically like spoiling some things. He was like, "Oh, so I mean, you reached the end, kind of thing."
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna let you know that there's actually a lot of like clues hidden throughout the whole thing. Like, there's different hidden messages. You have to connect the dots, and like, there's lots of clues that like he's actually got a twin brother, all this other neat stuff that he was telling us. But he wasn't gonna review everything, of course. So
Yeah, dude,
I'll have to rewatch it.
Cause I remember when it first came out, I'm still am a big fan of the series. I went to the subreddit and I was like, "Did you notice so and so and so and so?" And they was like, "Yeah, dude, there might be a twin." Because like, you know, when Grunkle Stan or Stanley now was driving that red car, the license plate said Stanford, and we was like, his name is not no, it said Stanley, but his name is supposedly Stanford, so it didn't match. And then the whole second pair of glasses in that locked room, when I was just like, oh, okay. And then the flashback when he was learning how to box from his mean dad, you could see someone who looked just like him hiding behind a book reading. And I was just like, twin brother, bro. Twin brother. And the broken swing set in the memory pad, like, no, twin brother. Twin freaking brother. Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
so
I remember
good.
seeing the license plate thing, and I was like, huh. He's always being called Uncle Stan. I just thought Stan for short. Like, I never thought about Stan Lee, but I see what they did there. They named them similar names, so it'd be a little bit. You'd have to put a little bit more thought into it, which a lot of the fans actually got. I wasn't one of them though, but still pretty neat.
It was a doozy, man. Personally, that's the kind of cartoons that I really love. That type of music. It's the same reason why I love Steven Universe. Like the fact that fans were picking up on Garnet being a spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it by now, my God. But picking up that she was a fusion. I mean, the hints were always there. I'm like, Rebecca Sugar, Alex Hirsch. Oh my God, you freaking people are amazing. But yeah. But moving.
Oh, it's by the same person.
Huh?
It's by the same person.
No. It's so Steven Universe is made by the cartoonist / writer Rebecca Sugar. She's amazing. Gravity Falls is done by Alex Hirsch. He's amazing.
Yes. Oh, okay. I just thought you combined both of them, and
No.
I was just about to go crazy.
They are friends though. As a matter of fact, I follow Alex on Twitter, and he was posting photos of him and like Rebecca Sugar out having lunch with Josh Rowland, who was the creator of Rick and Morty. So they're all just hanging out being nerds, right?
Make a new thing together.
Which, by the way, in an episode of Rick and Morty, when Rick had made a bunch of portals running away from the Council of Rick, you could see that a cup with a question mark on it, a pen and notebook paper, or a notepad came out of one of those portals, right? And if you look at Gravity Falls episode when Stan opens the portal to get his brother out of that alternate dimension,
Right.
a cup with a question mark on it, a pen, and a notepad went through the portal.
Oh man.
So they kind of linked the two cartoons. I was like, yes, cartoonists who are friends, yes.
It's happening.
A cartoon universe.
One other quick thing. Alex Hirsch also mentioned that throughout the whole like series of Gravity Falls, if you pay close attention, there's like lots of different cameos of him in the whole series. But he said, "Don't mistake those as me trying to up my ego. It's actually just my crew trying to make fun of me, because they'll put him in like stupid, ridiculous situations. Like in one of the cameos, he's like a clown juggling, and like he fails miserably.
Yeah.
So they're just poking fun at him.
Oh, those guys. Also, Alex Hirsch did voice a character, like a 5 to 15 second scene in Rick and Morty as well, when Rick and Summer throw that house party at the end of season 1. I think, yeah. There is a boy that Summer wanted to impress who wore like a Letterman jacket,
Uh-huh.
and he was like the varsity football team, and that character was voiced by Alex Hirsch.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But yeah, moving on to science because we're getting too caught up giddily and giggly in the world of cartoons. You had a link to a breakthrough in the silicene production.
Do.
Tell me about it.
All right. So let's see. SiC Production Breakthrough. All right. So silicene is one of those things that's not really known about. But basically, silicene is the 2D version of silicone.
Witchcraft!
And right, you think like, wait, isn't silicone already 2D? Well, I mean, think of it more like carbon and graphite kind of thing, where like the compressed kind of granular form of carbon is graphite. Well, that's basically what silicene is. And basically, the reason why this is important is because silicene actually has some interesting properties. It is thought to be a superconductor, kind of like graphite is. Which, I mean, for use in processors and just like the computing industry, would open up like a few more doors that had been locked for quite a while. And not only that, it's a interesting band gap. It allows for like newer ways to flow electrons, different stop and start mechanisms, which but anyway, the problem with silicene is you can't really separate it from its substrate when scientists are kind of growing that in the lab.
Oh, wow.
So basically, you can never get it off like your sample sheet, so you can never really sell it.
So
But it turns
basically,
out-
it's the STD of the scientific world.
Yes, exactly. It's exactly like.
No.
But a group of smart people than me found out that if you get some oxygen molecules and actually like put them underneath the silicene and the actual substrate, it starts to separate. So, wait. Yeah, so you guys get the idea. Like, you basically solve that issue. Now the only challenge is, I guess, getting more funding, getting a patent for it, figuring out a way to mass produce it. Because before this, trying to separate it would kind of basically wreck the structure. They kind of like crystalline, like weaved, basically almost like silicone threads. Not really, exactly.
Well, Lewis,
But,
I got a
pretty
question
tough.
for you. I got a question for you.
Shoot,
Now-
Zane.
Now, you say here that one of the things they had to do was trying to get funding, correct? Funding?
Oh yeah, fun.
Okay.
That was a big one.
All right. So before we get to funding, the question I got for you is, does it cause Down syndrome? Because I ain't gonna support nothing that causes no Down syndrome in children. I'm sorry. Cheap shot. I know. Cheap shot. I know. The point I'm trying to make is we definitely need to fund certain scientific advances, especially with things like silicon-based things. So silicene does sound amazing, especially when it comes to doing with like hardware and things that we want to push on the ever exponentially expanding frontier of technology and science. And it kind of blends into what Intel is trying to do with the whole know where your components are coming from, because you have places in the Congo where you have literally warlords who are forcing people to mine out the materials to make certain things. If you can find better ways to probably produce that in areas where you can do things a little bit more cleanly and more nicely, it supports everyone. As for the whole thing about getting patents in order, just call Apple.
They got their system locked down, don't they?
And trolled the shit out of everybody. But no, that definitely does sound freaking amazing, actually. Because silicon within itself is a super sexy material. So the idea of like this silicene being able to push the frontier of most things with the conductivity to that of like graphite. I mean, like, dude. I mean, there's the word again, super conductivity. I mean, super. I mean, what does super even mean nowadays? But like it is
Super AMOLED.
Right. And we're probably like idiots, and it actually probably does mean something like specific. I don't know, but
But this basically translates to is basically there could be thinner iPhones.
yeah. Which I mean, Apple, please stop with the thinness. I mean, I get it. But at the point where your camera hump is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and your phone is getting thinner and thinner and thinner, to the point where everyone just gets a case anyway. Yeah.
All right. I think we have one more point before we go off air, and it's actually with Singapore and self-driving cars.
Oh.
So the group Delphi Automotive, which has actually worked with Google in the past, is experimenting with self-driving cars in Singapore, and they say it's a good base for self-driving cars because it's mostly warm throughout the year. It's kind of a small city, pretty structured. Many flat roads and like many like direct roads, not like a lot of like roundabouts. Like middle of France, Boston, New York City. Like it's a pretty well structured grid. But anyway, they want to launch a small little fleet of like 6 automated taxis sometime around next year.
Oh my god.
The cars aren't going to be like exactly completely autonomous. They're going to have a driver actually for a while to make sure that if things go crazy, the driver's going to be there to stop it. So that's the only like caveat.
I mean, that's fine. That's saying.
Yeah, I mean it's reasonable.
Yeah, because I mean, one thing when it comes to auto, or self-driving cars, like think about with Tesla in America, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. But then that one guy who sadly did lose his life because a truck did a turn, like a 18-wheeler with cargo did a turn that the car was not able to properly see and adjust properly, ended up crashing, and he died in that accident. But that goes to show you exactly why these things need a little bit more testing. And while Singapore sounds amazing to have like these things for the roads and whatnot, I think it's going to be like what's a domino effect. You get more testing for the bases in Singapore, while in America and other countries that have, let's use the word complicated, roading or roads and routes is going to allow developers and manufacturers to push the envelope of where or how well self-driving cars can be. So, yeah.
Yeah. It turns out actually Singapore is an even more perfect candidate because it also turns out that only 15% of like their citizens actually even own a car because of just like some high barriers, and their taxes are way higher than ours. So not many people own cars for that same reason, just too expensive.
That sounds interesting. I mean, that actually sounds it's like a double-edged sword. I mean, sadly, because now there's like now there's cars that we can't drive that we still can't buy. But
great,
right? But because they're using it for taxis and things, that sounds like far more beneficial. However, if that ever comes to the States, you're gonna have a war between the classic taxi drivers from Uber, from Apple cars, from Tesla, and these things. They're gonna be like a giant war.
Yep.
I can see it now.
Yep, it's basically war of the taxis. Taxi wars. I mean, for what it won't be a big deal, or as big of a deal because there's Delphi Automotive. They're only gonna have 6 taxis. They eventually want to expand up to 50 taxis and include like electric vehicles. But I mean, it'll be a while before they could compete with Uber or any other drive share kind of service. Still a really neat idea though.
I'm liking it, man. That's actually brilliant. And like Singapore looks, well, I know every country has good places and bad places, but I'm looking at the photo with like the building and like the highway. It looks sexy. Like I don't want to say sexy. Sexy is like I don't want to objectify this location. It looks good though. I would definitely want to do like a vacation in Singapore for a week.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
I think that's gonna basically wrap up most of the podcast. I do want to say Lewis fixed the certificate issue with the HTTPS for the website. So if you try to visit the website and you're still brought to like a menu saying, "No, don't do it, don't do it," simply just clear your cache, your memory, your RAM, not RAM. What am I thinking? Your cache and cookies, cache and cookies. That's what it is. And then reload the site, and it should work totally fine. Be sure to have the tab with the site closed before you clear your cache and cookies, and then just go back to it. Should work totally fine.
Yep. And if you still get it, then we're probably getting attacked. And that would be a different story altogether.
And it's your fault, the user's fault, not our fault.
But anyway, that should be fixed for everybody now.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the website has come a long way, man. It's come a long, long way. But yeah, so guys, stay tuned. The first podcast can be seen on YouTube, and I am working on getting it put on the iTunes and Play Store for that stuff. Right now, I'm doing the uploading to the file host, and I'm trying to see how the .xml file generates. After that, I'm going to wait for 2 more episodes before I launch it, and then we'll have the podcast over on the Play Store and iTunes. But guys, that's pretty much wraps it up for us here at the podcast. Thank you for having me, myself. You're welcome yourself. And our co-host, Lewis. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to try to have more people on in the future. We're going to try to bring Shred back and possibly have some by the name of Digi. There's also a cool cat on YouTube by the name of Shadowy. I highly recommend you check out his channel. That's Shadowy TV. I'll have a link afterwards in the YouTube portion of the podcast. I'll probably even do like a cut later while I give you the actual direct link for the external version of the podcast. I'm talking. I'm tired. It's like about to be 11. I'm rambling. Lewis, we need to summon Cthulhu.
I think it's about that time.
It totally is. Anyway, so we'll see you all next week, Wednesday, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. We will possibly be changing the time and date or day of the podcast in the future when my fall semester starts. So be on the lookout for that. We'll keep you posted. So until the next time we see you, be sure to, as always, take care.